Have you ever hunted in the great state of Colorado? Long ago, fellow hunter Dean Silva took to the mountains in search of a targeted mule deer. What will happen when he is forced to decide between a whitetail or a mule deer? Find out soon right here on this Throwback Thursday edition of DoD TV.
This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Now we'll head for the wide open range of Colorado to follow Trophy Mountain outfitter Dean Silva. Dean is on a spot and stalk mission that he is very accustomed to. Having spent countless hours observing in this wide open country, Dean has a pretty good idea where the deer will be heading to.
Bunch of turkeys going up to flats right over there. We saw some little bucks out here this morning. They've got good potential in a couple of years. They're still kind of young deer. Everything went in really early this morning, kind of an odd deal, but it was a warm night. And I think actually it's getting cooler now than it was. Back here to the south, we've got a front coming in. They're calling for an Albuquerque low, so we got a chance for snow tonight. Hopefully that'll make the deer move a little bit earlier this evening, and we'll see what we can do during the middle of the day. But right now it looks like everything's pretty well already bedded up. It's not even good light really yet. It's right here, about 30, 40 yards out. That was close. What was it? 30 yards, 40 tops. You can see it's early in the morning. Back down this way about a half a mile, we got a hayfield. And those deer have been coming off the hayfield before daylight. The weather's not bad, it's not a full moon or anything, just they're coming off of it early. Hasn't been anybody really bothering them, but they're not used to anybody and they're just kind of in a set in an early pattern. So what we did this morning is we parked about a half a mile back this way and walked into this old house in the dark. And this old rock house has been here since the 1800s, so it's not going to bother them walking by it. We're right alongside it. He couldn't see us. We're looking out there, and before it was really light enough to see good, you could see a deer walking out there. Big body deer. Got a little bit lighter and we can make horns out on him. So he was a big whitetail buck. And we lost him down here in a low spot. Kept watching and watching. And all of a sudden he popped out right here about 30 or 40 yards from us. I don't think he ever saw us. He just started walking by and gave me a perfect broadside shot on him. And we shot him and he ran across here. He ran maybe 50 yards and then he piled up right over here. Said just a little low spot over here. So now we're going to walk down there and take a look at him. Boy, look at them pouring. Boy, it's been quite a week. We've been out here 5 days, had some other hunters. Had a hunter, a friend of mine, that we tried to get on this deer and just couldn't make it work. And that was one of the nicer days we've had. We've had high winds. We've had rain. We've had lots of just adverse conditions. We fought the mud everywhere we've been. We've had to go on a four-wheel drive and been tough going. We were actually trying to find a big mule deer. that we knew was hanging down around here, but we were down to the last morning, and this guy came out, and you just can't pass on a deer like this. And said we had a chance at him, we thought the other day with a friend of mine, but it just didn't work out, which that's how it goes a lot of times. Kind of like last night, the mule deer we worked with. And just been a lot of just adverse conditions in the last 5 days, but this morning we finally kind of got a break. The weather's nice, not any wind today. Yesterday we were hitting wind gusts of over 30 miles an hour. I mean, it wasn't pleasant hunting. We saw a lot of animals, we just couldn't get in close enough on them to make it work. But this morning it kind of all came together. I mean, you can't complain about a deer like this. Like I said, you can't pass up on a deer like this either. Really a nice whitetail, got a good body on him. Everything seemed to click this morning. It was just really a good morning to hunt.
Forecasting deer movement was just the beginning, and DeerCast has evolved into so much more, offering groundbreaking new features like DeerCast Track, our comprehensive shot tracking guide, a 10-day deer movement forecast, and DeerCast Custom, the ability to tweak our proprietary DeerCast algorithm to best represent your individual hunting areas. Because we don't want to just get you in front of that perfect whitetail, we want you to be ready for everything that comes after. So get ahead of your game and stay there with DeerCast.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Mossy Oak.